Well, hello, hello, hello. Don't we have a magical episode here for you today? My name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am by making small improvements to my life every single day. No, I think I'm just in the habit of saying that. But right now, today, it's so cool, fun, and special, just for you, Cafe, is we have our very own supplement unboxing haul. Woo! What's in this box? We're gonna find out today on today's show. However, I don't think I can use this, so I'm gonna have to put this on my shirt. Did I think this through? No, I didn't. We're gonna do it together, and we're gonna keep this because that's the fun part. First thing we need is a knife. Stab. Stab. Okay, we got that one. And reverse stab. No, we're not gonna reverse stab. We're gonna, Okay, let's get the close up of the sounds. Close up of the sounds. You probably didn't hear that. Oh, this is so entertaining. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this down. Stab 2 complete. Upward stab. Well, this is more of a chef's knife style. Ugh. Okay, I think we're just gonna do it like this. Bam, what's in the box? Moo, what do you have to say? That's a good point. Dun, dun, dun. No, Moo, get out of the way. Stop. Yeah. Okay. So we have this. We have brown paper. Oh, wait, there's something in it. Oh my God, there's so many things. There are so many things. I am so excited. Number one, what's the number one thing? It's creatine. This actually is something that it used to be for bodybuilders, but then they found out that it actually has benefits for all people. It was not just for muscle jocking. I think it, I was watching this thing that, this wasn't one of the main supplements that I wanted to get, but it was on the research things that I went, what's another supplement I could be taking that's really good? And it was like, everyone's taking creatine. It's really cool. So you're supposed to take 5 grams per serving, which is 1 scoop. Bodybuilders used to load it to make their muscles pop. It's good for brain stuff because it helps the water or something with the ATP. Let me just chat GPT quick so I can be educational. Also, while I do this, word of the day is obtrude. OBTRUDE, which means to force something onto another person, especially when it's unwelcome or inappropriate. So I'm going to obtrude your brain with knowledge on creatines and the other supplements. Though, I'm going to force something onto you, but I don't know whether it's unwelcome or inappropriate. So probably not the best use of the term obtrude. However, benefits. What I do know about creatine is that the brand doesn't actually matter. We're going to go more into brand details and specific ones on the other ones. But it's just a good thing to do. It's good for muscle recovery, enhanced muscle growth, better memory and mental clarity. That there's lots of, it supports ATP production in neurons, boosting mental endurance. That's the thing, as well as it has a neuroprotective potential. I mean, it kind of feels like what's frustrating is every single supplement does all of the same things, all of the things. It's this probably has an antioxidant property, probably has something that it's to do with neuroprotections or neural growth. No, not everything does that. Has probably boosts verbal fluency and memory and long-term support and all these other cool fun stuff. But so essentially it's a very well-researched sort of thing. Creatine monohydrate is the one you're going to want to look for. And Dr. Mike, which is the guy that I listened to talk about this, there's another lady. But essentially the brand doesn't really matter. It's pretty easy to make creatine monohydrate. But so I'm going to start doing this. There's 200 servings for this. This was $41.38 in Canada. So that comes out to approximately 21 cents per serving, or 20.69 cents. Sex. Ha! Funny. 21 cents per serving, 21 cents per day. That's fantastic. Meaning in a year, it's going to cost you $75. and 51 cents. 52 cents. There you go. Fun fact. I bet you obtruded. No, that's not going to work. There's another. Autarkic is another word of the day. Autarkic, which is Autarchic, which means to be self-sufficient. So typically used in political systems, like an autarchy, which is something that is independent, is not dependent on any external factors. And okay, here's the thing: you want to become autarkic emotionally before engaging in a relationship with another human being, to the best of your ability. Because what you don't want to enter is a relationship where you're dependent on someone else's love for your own sense of love, I think. And the reason why you want to become autarkic before entering relationship with yourself emotionally is because then you will build and connect with another emotionally healthy person and won't be instead filling a void in your own emotional health with someone else, because then you become contingent and dependent on that other person. And while that isn't necessarily always a bad thing, it just makes you vulnerable to then maybe being not taken advantage of. Well, taken advantage of, although there's not so much its intent, but it's more an emotionally damaged person then can be the one that controls your self-worth, and then you're willing to sacrifice things that a part of yourself, maybe interests that you have or things that you otherwise doing, and mistreat yourself. And the reason you're okay with doing that is because the person that you're with is filling a deeper emotional need that you're missing. And therefore, the sacrifice of that filling of the void is not, keeping that, sacrificing that filled emotional void is not a priority. It's not a priority. There's a different way of phrasing it. It's, if you're going to sacrifice who you are to preserve the emotional void that is being filled, you're going to do that. And so you should try to become autarkic so that you have, or at least understand your own emotional voids. Maybe you won't be able to fill them, but that way that you won't lose yourself as a consequence of not being fully emotionally rounded. That's going somewhere. There's a better way to end that. But I think I'm trying to get back to the point, main topic of the day, which isn't creatine. Why did we get here? Creatine monohydrate. That's one of the things. Wait, what was I? That was. You want to become self-sufficient emotionally before engaging in a relationship, or not? Maybe not before. Doesn't necessarily need to be before. It's an unideal position to be not autarkic. What is opposite of autarkic? Opposite of autarkic. Bang. The opposite of autarkic, meaning self-sufficient or independent, especially in a political or economic sense, is dependent or interdependent. I said that word already. I'm using this word in a non-typical use. Therefore, I'm super cool. Also bought this book the other day, The Origins and History of Consciousness by Eric Newman, with a foreword by Carl Jung, translated by R.F.C. Hull. I like Carl Jung. Sometimes he's dense. It's tough. This is one of his students who wrote a book essentially mapping out the origin of consciousness onto the mythology and stories we use to tell that embody or embedded in everything from the beginning of time and moving forward. For example, The Lion King. But he details this out in a more simpler way. And Carl Jung in his foreword basically goes like, this guy's my student, he's the fucking shit, and what's great about him is the fact that sometimes as a pioneer, when you're going like, this is this new path we're gonna go on, you don't even understand what it is that you're doing as you're doing it, so it actually takes someone who's following your path to then walk through actually the path you're doing, map it out, and make it more clear for other people to follow, which is essentially what the guy's doing, and he's like, that guy's my shit. So it's such a cool type font. Hold on, let me show you. It's like old stuff. Look at the symbol. So cool. So cool. Oh, I forgot my page. This book was, I think, $40. $40. Spending so much money. Okay, another thing that I got. But okay, connection to the book is I got a lawn chair. Or a foldable chair. And it's my favorite thing ever now. Look at this chair. It's foldable. I'll show you how to fold it, but I don't want to because, hold on, we got to do a demonstration. See, it's folded. Ding! And then watch me unfold it. And so the story of this chair is I went to Walmart to get a chair because I wanted a chair that I could go to a place and then sit down, and that place being any place, like just a random field, because you can't just go to a field and stand there and read a book. It's just strange, and you don't want to sit on the grass because it's not nearly as comfy. And so I was going to get the ones that you just kind of like are sit when there's the cup holder thing that you see at soccer practice. But instead, when I sat on it, it was like too upright, and I was going, this is the one I'm going to get because on Amazon, they're like fucking $70 to $140. It's like, I don't need a professional foldable chair. Like, I just need something I can sit on. And then there were $9.95 at Walmart. So then I went, got on the bus, and then got on the metro, then got off the metro. Saw a cool sculpture. It's my favorite sculpture is the one at Nemu. It's in the Orange Line. It's these fucking globular octagonal shapes. It might be hexagonal. I think it's octagonal. Doesn't matter at this point. Might be hexagon. 6. What am I saying? Oh, but then I was going to get that one, but then I saw this one was a bit smaller, and it was more of a laid back. Well, I didn't actually know what it was, but it was $24, and it was like, let's test this one out to make sure that the pair of shoes that I'm going to get is the right pair of shoes, but we're talking about lawn chairs, not shoes. And so I sat on it, and it was like, oh, wait, hold on. This is me actually being a bit more reclined. I kind of like this more rather than being super upright. This is the better chair. I'm glad I tried it out, and then I got this one. And it's my favorite thing ever. So earlier today, I went to a field and a place, and then I sat and read for a half an hour. Not a half an hour. I think it was an hour and a half. But then what inspired it is because I wanted something that I could put onto my balcony. We're outside now. You can't see me, but we're outside. Hold on, I'm folding chair. Put on my balcony. I think I'm going to do that later. Oh, but it's going to be so... Balcony and sit and read and look at the sunset and just be outside because right now I have just bar stools. The bar stool looks like this. Not a bar stool, but just more stool. Like if I'm outside and I'm doing this, like this isn't like, ooh, I'm so relaxed and I'm going to continue to enjoy being in this body posture. Like, it's not like that. It's like, ooh, I'm like this, and I would like to not be like this for a bit because I would like to be eating something, or it just makes me want to stand up. It's not like, I can really sink into this book here. But the other one, that's cool, and it's also portable, and I'm very happy. The other things, right. Wait, hold on. Did I not get the krill oil? Hold on, I think I made a fatal flaw. Returns orders. No, I did. Oh, okay, well, let's not spoil the supplies, but let's spoil the supplies. Surprise. Krill oil, omega-3s. Great source of omega-3s. You want, okay, so now we're going to get scientifical. Krill oil, it's a good source of omega-3s. Omega-3s are good for brain health. Hold on, why is krill oil good? They're a good source of omega-3s and omega-6s, which is critical for brain health, like regulation. There's a bunch of other sort of things. They're high in DHA and EPA, which supports neurotransmitter health, like good long-term brain health, bunch of stuff. Also is good for like hearts and inflammation, just a bunch of cool, fun stuff in it. It's a good thing to have. So you want to have some fatty fish in your diet. Now, if you don't have fatty fish, you also can supplement. It's pretty good. Now, when you look at supplements for the fatty fish, generally what we're going to find are companies that say we have omega-3s, and this is really good because omega-3s are what you're looking for. However, dun, 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 the label may be misleading, so you got to be careful. Now, where you get those omega-3s actually turns out to matter. Because, hold on, why does it matter? Okay, why better than fish oil? The reason why it matters is because, well, it just more depends. Generally, omega-3s are just going to be getting it from fish oil. You don't know what type of fish that is. And the omega-3s in different sorts of fish are more bioavailable than others. Meaning, krill oil specifically has omega-3s that are EPAs and DHAs, which are phospholipids, or they bind to phospholipids rather than triglycerides. Cool fun science talk, which really just means you absorb the omega-3s of krill way better than in fish. So that means the fucking cool fun shit that omega-3s do actually does more when you get it from krill, fucking the krill, because more of it's in your system and you absorb more. So if you take 200 or 1,000 milligrams, you take 1,000 omega-3s from fish oil, you might only get, I don't know, 200. Still good, but it's 20% effective. Now, our cool fun guys krills, then you're gonna get like 950. So it's like so much more. So you want to get it from here. The other thing though is it turns out that even that, not all krill oil is the fucking same. So you want to make sure that you're getting krill oil from Superba, like Euphausia superba, not Euphausia pacifica. This one has both, but because it's Antarctic krill, premium high grade. One's better than the other. Okay, why is it better? Let me find out. There's less fishy aftertaste burps with krill oil as well. Why Superba versus Pacifica? I know that. I think I decided not to care because this was the first one and it was Herba, and ChatGPT is taking too long. Fucking hurry up, ChatGPT. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and the reason you want to make sure that it has some Superba in it is because there's more clinical studies that show that it's great. That's why. Oh, that's why I didn't fucking care, because it's not one's actually better than the other. It's just like, we got studies that say Superba superb, and Pacifica, it's fucking not bad, but we just don't know. So that's why I went with this one. It was the first one, but I didn't care as much because then I went that. This one was $41.97 Canadian. Okay, what's next? Oh, we got the fucking Cool Fun special. There's more coming tomorrow, which I guess I'll have to show tomorrow. No, but I'm not doing this tomorrow. I'll have to show next Sunday. Yeah, I won't talk about it. It'll be a surprise. Da, da, da. But we have the main party. Lion's Mane number 1. Da, 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 roar. And Lion's Mane number 2. So, what does Lion Mane do? Lion Mane's the super cool fun stuff thing. I'm going to go get my cool fun study so I can have it in my hand while I'm talking about the cool fun thing, which is Lion's Mane. Lion's Mane, clinically known as, or no, technically known as, hold on. Also, look. I got Listerine. Cool mint. So, Lion's Mane, also known as Hericum erinaceus. What's really cool about it, this is a study, narrative overview, published in April 9th, 2025. Did I actually remember that perfectly? April 9th, 2025. I'm amazing. I'm Matt Damon. It is a fungus. It's a mushroom that looks cool. But what it does is it has been proven and connected to neural growth factor. It stimulates neural growth factor. Now, what does neural growth factor do? Well, it's a cool, fun thing in your body, which helps promote the synthesis and myelination of your neurons, both in the peripheral and central nervous system, depending on where the uptake is. What does that mean? It makes your brain stronger, specifically by the building blocks, which are the neurons. Makes the myelin sheath thicker, which is the fatty layer around each neuron, which is where the axon potential goes when neurons fire. When that myelin sheath is thicker, that means your neurons can fire faster and fire more powerfully, which makes you smarter, makes you think quicker. There's just nothing wrong with having a thicker myelin sheath. So, why, you may be asking, do I have one company plus two different companies? That doesn't make any sense, Duncan. Are they the same thing? You'd think so, but you would not be necessarily true. Before I describe that, though, the two main things inside of lion's mane that are bioactive, meaning they actually act on our biology, are terpenoids and hericenones. But no, hold on. No, well, there's a bunch of sort of stuff. But the ones we're going to focus on specifically to do with neural growth factor, because there's a bunch of cool, fun benefits. They actually published a study, the thing that I'm referencing, about how many cool, fun things this is on. Actually, no. Before we we're going to do this one first, then we're going to talk about rats, and then we're going to come back to talking about these two things. Are we going to do that? No, first I'm going to talk about rats. Okay, so they did a study in Japan. And in the study in Japan, what they did was they went to people and they were like, hey, take some lion's mane and take a lot of it. And then they went to some other people and they were like, hey, don't. And then after 4 weeks, they were like, well, let's see what the difference is. And as it turns out, in the group that took the lion's mane, they were smarter, cognitive clearer, mental clearer. They just had better memory recall. Just all the stuff they did with their brain performed better than the group that didn't take. Then interestingly enough, when they stopped taking it, the benefits went away. Da-da. Now this was the specific human study that I know about. Specific randomized double placebo-controlled blind, that scientific term for science studies that have to be perfect. They're really good. Not as many in humans, but plenty done in animals. And you can't always extrapolate what you find in animal studies onto humans because we're different. Although we're similar, we still have our differences, and those differences are important, especially when talking about neurotropics and bioactive compounds inside of our systems, because we have a bunch of different sort of enzymes and cool fun stuff. But consistently, pretty much the exact same thing is happening with rats. And their brains are getting better. Anyways, it's been shown and it's to be connected with preventing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, even reversing it in some circumstances. Again, the data is limited, so we can't be like, it is a miracle drug, but we also can't be like, no, it's not. And I am just deciding that I'm not a scientist nor a doctor, but this is fucking amazing, and I want to take it, and I'm doing it for myself, and so that's why I am. There's also a bunch of immunomodulatory, antimicrobial, and anti-tumor effects. That's what beta-glucans can do. So it's good for your immune system as well. It makes your natural killer cells come to life. They're like, macrophages, what's up? But so the terpenoid class, which is specifically the one that does the neural growth factor thing, there are two key groups. So there's the hericenones and erinacines. Hericenones and erinacines. There's one that starts with H, hericenones, and one that starts with E, doesn't that, okay. The hericenones are found in the fruiting body. These ones found in the fruiting body, which is the more mushroom part. If you're looking at a mushroom, there's the stem, that's the mycelium, and then the cap, which is the fruiting body. Lion's mane's a little bit different because it doesn't look quite that same, but that's the easy visual if you're trying to understand. Now, the key difference between the two of them, because both of them stimulate neurogrowth synthesis, they're neuroprotective, they enhance brain function, the cognitive enhancement, they do the fucking same thing. Key difference, though, is that hericenones don't have as much data backing their ability to cross the blood-brain barrier as erinacines. Now, what does that mean? Why is that important? Well, first of all, what's the blood-brain barrier? Well, turns out your brain's really important. Because that's really important, it over time has built a barrier to block things from passing through the blood and affect the brain, unless those things that are affecting the brain are good things. Generally, they have to be fat soluble, and there's a bunch of science behind it. All you need to know is that not everything can cross the blood-brain barrier. What that means is then if something is acting on neurons, promoting neural growth factor, but it can't cross the blood-brain barrier, or at least we don't have enough clinical data to definitely know for a fact that it crosses the blood-brain barrier, is it's acting on the peripheral nervous system, which is like your body, and like your hands and your knees and your bodiness. Just not your central nervous system, which is like your brain and spine. Okay, well that's not a problem, but it still is going to have the immunomodulatory effects and all those cool fun stuff, but you might not be getting more brain by taking it. Still important and still going to have a good things. That's lion's mane real mushrooms. No, this is too early to introduce the things. Okay, so that's where the hericenones are coming from, found in the fruiting body. But that means if you just get the fruiting body, that's not enough. The erinacines, which are found in the mycelium, these ones have the same cool fun stuff, but are known more confidently to cross the blood-brain barrier. Now, that means if you want to have the true full potential of the lion's mane ability to stimulate neural growth factor and make your myelin sheath thicker, and you do all that cool fun stuff, you're going to need to be taking both lion's mane that is found in the fruiting body as well as lion's mane that is found in the mycelium. Now, another thing for this is the fact that not every company actually tells you whether or not they're getting the lion's mane from the fruiting body or the lion's mane from the mycelium. Generally, it's safe to say if they don't indicate it, well, this is the fucking thing that I'm going to tell you that you should know, is if they don't tell you, they probably are doing it from the mycelium, but it also has some other filler with it, and then you just don't know what's in there. It's not to say that they're bad people. It's just to say that they're doing a great job marketing it, and if it seems too good to be true, and you care about making sure you have both the fruiting body and the mycelium, or caring about it, which you might not, in which case fucking rock your socks off with another brand. But if you want to know that, that's what you got to look out for. So, because I, Duncan Alderdice, want the benefits of both the hericenones found in the fruiting body and the erinacines found in the mycelium, I got two brands. Number one is Real Mushrooms, Canadian brand based in Alberta, I believe. You can see a picture of the face on their website. This one comes with 300, but their main thing, they got a bunch of different sort of mushrooms on there, all stimulants, supplements. But, what am I saying? Their main fucking selling point is the fact that they only harvest from the fruiting body, because you have a greater than 30% beta-glucans, which are the things that do a bunch of cool... Oh, beta-glucans are the ones that stimulate the immune system by activating macrophages, natural killer cells, and T lymphocytes, enhancing the body's ability to fight infections and even cancer cells. Bang! So not only is the lion's mane going to be stimulating neural growth factor, but also is going to be causing cancer to not exist in me. Now, as a consequence, also though, they're the hericenones. This is where I'm going to get my hericenones. So maybe it's crossing the blood-brain barrier, but we're not too sure for sure. But at least I know where it's coming from, which is better than the brand I am taking right now. That's the one I'm going to be taking. There's 300 in there. There's so many. Paul Stamets is another guy. He's a big proponent of mushrooms. He's a mushroom guy. He's on a Joe Rogan podcast. That I listened to him talk about the benefits of mushrooms, both psychedelic as well as lion's mane. He's the founder of the Stamets stack, which is a micro-dosing stack where you take psilocybus cubensis, which is golden teacher, or any magic mushroom with psychoactive compounds, specifically with psilocybin in it, as well as lion's mane, as well as niacin. And he says that it's great because it has the neural growth factor combination with neurogenesis, and the niacin also is, I think it's vitamin D or something, just something with the peripheries. Anyways, he's known for the Stamets stack, Paul Stamets. He has his own brand called Host Defense. Now here's a picture of him. You can see, or you can't. He specifically, and he made a video on it, harvests the lion's mane at the mycelium stage. Now, I believe this is because they're going to have more erinacines found in the mycelium, And that means it's going to get neural growth factor crossing the blood-brain barrier. So if I take both, then I get both. Also, he's a reliable source. He's a good fucking researcher. And because he's open about it, it feels, well, it's far less than, well, it isn't hiding under a marketing gimmick. It's like, this is the reason why we're doing it this way. Also, here's the thing that you want to know. Harvesting from the mycelium is harder. Therefore, it's more rare. Therefore, it's more expensive. So 120 of these cost about $100. 300 of these, the fruiting body, also cost about $100. Actually, I can give you the specific numbers. Hold on. Lion's mane. So it was $103.21, and the mycelium was 109.21, and the fruiting body was 103.28. But so because this is more expensive than this proportionately, that's how I know that this actually is legit mycelium, because whenever you see something, say, going like, oh, I can give you, like, that's most of the brands are like, you can get bonus ones. You know that they're cutting corners. Funny enough, if they have a great website, probably a bad sign as far as supplements go, because you know where their marketing dollars, or their dollars are going, and it might not be to R&D. It might be going to S&M, which is sales and marketing. But anyways, so the fact that I know and read this made me learn about lion's mane. And if you're going to get it, you should go to Real Mushrooms. It's a really good website. I'm not a sponsor. But then this one, what I plan on doing is taking one of these because it's crossing the blood-brain barrier. It's good for my brain. It's more expensive. But then take two of these so I get like most of the benefits, all of the benefits. That would be 1.5 grams of lion's mane per day. I'm going to take one of these every 3 to 4 times a week because it is something that compounds and builds. You don't really need to be daily. That's good. I'm going to take one right now, actually. And I'm going to start taking creatine daily as well. I have more supplements on the way. I have to replace my ashwagandha because I didn't have the right type of ashwagandha. You want to get ashwagandha with sensoril. The reason why is because that particular type is one that induces sleep. Or there's a different type of ashwagandha that makes you a bit more energy. Turns out that that's a fucking thing. The one I'm getting, just general root, no idea where it's coming from. So got to replace that shit real quick. Also, rhodiola, instead of getting biogenique, I'm going to get one that's fucking, this cool guys from Canada started a brand, but it's grown in Tibet, mountainous region. And I was going to get Bacopa, but not today. Anyways, I'm feeling terrific. And I'm so excited with all my supplements. I'm going to be so healthy. I'm going to be the healthiest person in the world. Oh, and I got a haircut. And the haircut this is exactly what I was so happy with the haircut. Because the time I got a haircut before, the guy took so much off the top. I was like, just leave the top. It'll be fine. And then he just, I think, went deaf when I said that. So then he took, like, it was just so short and I hated it. But now it's short on the sides. It's long on the top. I can do this with my hair. I fucking loved it. And I'm going to go back. The haircut was so cheap. It was, the haircut and beard trim was $40. And so I tipped him $60. No, I tipped him $20 because I'm a nice guy. Also got tax return back, so that was cool. That's why I bought all these supplements, because this was so much money. But it's an investment in myself, and I am the asset that compounds with every action I take and money I spend. And although I may fail along the way, the skills and lessons and abilities I acquire from engaging with the monsters and dragons that I do will stay with me. And so long as I focus on that and so long as I do not stop, I cannot fail. Success is inevitable if you're persistent. That's the name of the game. Anyways, my name is Duncan Alderdice. Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always, and remember to believe in yourself because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. I'll see you next week. Dun, dun. How do I end this?